you don't know it, that's when you think about it, and that's exactly.
the light I see in others. I am the sun so high above. I am the sky rich with color. I am the roots of the earth.
Nam mô Đức Bổn Sư Bụt Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Nam mô Đức Bổn Sư Bụt Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Nam mô Đức Bổn Sư Bụt Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Pháp Bụt cao siêu mầu nhiệm, cơ duyên may được thọ trì, xin nguyện đi vào biến tuệ tinh thông giáo nghĩa huyền vi. Nam mô Đức Bổn Sư Bụt Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Nam mô Đức Bổn Sư Bụt Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Nam mô Đức Bổn Sư Bụt Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Pháp Bụt cao siêu mầu nhiệm, cơ duyên may được thọ trì. Xin nguyện đi vào biển tuệ, tinh thông giáo nghĩa huyền vi. Kinh tình yêu ban nhà Ba La Mật Đa Bồ Tát quan tự tại, khi quán chiếu thâm sâu bát nhã Ba La Mật tức diệu pháp trí độ, bỗng soi thấy năm uẩn đều không có tự tánh. Thực chứng điều ấy xong, Ngài vượt thoát tất cả mọi khổ đau ách nạn. Nghe đây xá lợi từ sắc, chẳng khác gì không, không chẳng khác gì sắc, sắc chính thực là không.
Jayata Om Moni Moni Maha Munaya Swaha. Jayata Om Moni Moni Maha Munaya Swaha. Namo Bhagavate Trilokiya Prativissistaya Buddhaya Bhagavate Tariyata Om Vishuddhaya Vishuddhaya Asama Sama Samantava Vasas Paranagati Gahana Swabhava Vishuddhi Abhisinchatu Mam Sugata Varavachana Amerita Abhisekai Mahamantra Padai Ahara Ahara Ayu Samdarani Sodaya Sodaya Gagana Vishuddhi Usnisa Vijaya Vishuddhi Sahasra Rasmi Samchodite Sarva Tathagata Avalokani Satparamita Paripurani Sarva Tathagata Matida dasa bumi pratistite sarva tathagata hridaya adhisthana disthita mahamudre vajrakaya samhattana vishuddhi sarva varana apaya durgati parivishuddhi pratinirvataya ayushuddhi samaya adhisthite mani mani mahamani tatata buddha koti parishuddhi visputa buddhi shuddhi jaya jaya vijaya vijaya smara smara sarva buddha adhisthita shuddhi vajri vajragabe vajram bhavatu mama sariram sarva sattvanam cakaya parivishuddhi sarva gati parishuddhi sarva tathagata sinjame sama swasayanto sarva tathagata sama swasa adhisthite buddhiya buddhiya vibudhiya vibudhiya bodhaya bodhaya vibodhaya vibodhaya samanta parishuddhe sarva tathagata hridaya adhisthana disthita mahamudre swaha. Bhagavate Trilokiya Prativisistaya Buddhaya Bhagavate Taliyata Om Vishuddhaya Vishuddhaya Asama Sama Samanta Vabasas Paranagati Gahana Swabhava Vishuddhi Abhisinchatu Mamsugata Varavachana Amerita Abhisekai Mahamantra Padai Ahara Ahara Ayu Samdarani Sodaya Sodaya Gagana Vishuddhi Usnisa Vijaya Vishuddhi Sahasra Rasmi Samjodite Sarva Tathagata Avalokani Satparamita Paripurani Sarva Tathagata Mati Dasa Bhumi Pratisthite Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Disthita Mahamudre Vajrakaya Samhattana Vishuddhi Sarva Varana Apaya Durgati Parivishuddhi Pratinirvataya Ayushuddhi Samaya Adhisthite Mani Mani Mahamani Tatata Buddha Koti Parishuddhi Visputa Buddhi Shuddhi Jaya Jaya Vijaya Vijaya Smara Smara Sarva Buddha Adhisthita Shuddhi Vajri Vajragabe Vajram Bhavatu Mama Sariram Sarva Sattvanam Cakaya Parivishuddhi Sarva Gati Parishuddhi Sarva Tathagata Sinjame Sama Swasayanto Sarva Tathagata Sama Swasa Adhisthite Buddhiya Buddhiya Vibudhiya Vibudhiya Bodhaya Bodhaya Vibodhaya Vibodhaya Samanta Parishuddhe Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Disthita Mahamudre Swaha. Bhagavate Trilokiya Prativisistaya Buddhaya Bhagavate Taliyata Om Vishuddhaya Vishuddhaya Asama Sama Samanta Vabasas Paranagati Gahana Swabhava Vishuddhi Abhisinchatu Mamsugata Varavachana Amerita Abhisekai Mahamantra Padai Ahara Ahara Ayu Samdarani Sodaya Sodaya Gagana Vishuddhi Usnisa Vijaya Vishuddhi Sahasra Rasmi Samjodite Sarva Tathagata Avalokani Satparamita Paripurani Sarva Tathagata Mati Dasa Bhumi Pratisthite Sarva Tathagata Hridaya adhisthana disthita mahamudre vajrakaya samhattana vishuddhi sarvavarana apaya durgati parivishuddhi pratinirvataya ayushuddhi samaya adhisthite mani mani mahamani tatata buddha koti parishuddhi visputa buddhi shuddhi jaya jaya vijaya vijaya smara smara sarva buddha adhisthita shuddhi vajri vajragabe vajram bhavatu mama sariram sarva sattvanam jakaya parivishuddhi sarva gati parishuddhi sarva tathagata sinjame sama swasayanto sarva tathagata sama swasa adhisthite buddhiya buddhiya vibudhiya vibudhiya bodhaya bodhaya vibodhaya vibodhaya samanta parishuddhe sarva tathagata hridaya adhisthana disthita mahamudre swaha. Namo Bhagavate Trilokiya Prativissistaya Buddhaya Bhagavate Taliyata Om Vishuddhaya Vishuddhaya Asama Sama Samanta Vabhasas Paranagati Gahana Swabhava Vishuddhi Abhisinchato Mam Sugata Varavachana Amerita Abhisekan Mahamantra Padai Ahara Ahara Ayu Samdarani Sodaya Sodaya Gagana Vishuddhi Usnisa Vijaya Vishuddhi Sahasra Rasmi Samchodite Sarva Tathagata Avalokani Satparamita Paripurani Sarva Tathagata Matidasa Bhumi Pratisthite Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Disthita Mahamudre Vajrakaya Samhattana Vishuddhi Sarva Varana Apaya Durgati Parivishuddhi Pratinirvataya Ayushuddhi Samaya Adhisthite Mani Mani Mahamani Tatata Buddha Koti Parishuddhi Visputa Buddhi Shuddhi Jaya Jaya Vijaya Vijaya Smara Smara Sarva Buddha Adhisthita Shuddhi Vajri Vajragabe Vajram Bhavatu Mama Sariram Sarva Sattvanam Jakaya Parivishuddhi Sarva Gati Parishuddhi Sarva Tathagata Sinjame Sama Swasayanto Sarva Tathagata Sama Swasa Adhisthite Buddhiya Buddhiya Vibudhiya Vibudhiya Bodhaya Bodhaya Vibodhaya Vibodhaya Samanta Parishuddhi Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Disthita Mahamudre Swaha.
Arhate Samya Sambodhaya Namma Sarva Tathagate Arhate Sanya Sambodhaya Nama Arya Avaloke Shoraya Bodhisattva Mazadaya Makaruni Eyadam Daradara Dirindurunu Idridale Dale Radale Radale Kuzume kuzume varile milenzede dola mabana yezava.
retreat, and during a recent trip to Nepal, I met with Lama Glenn Mullen, spiritual teacher, Tibetologist, and author of over 30 books on Buddhism. Glenn was in Kathmandu to lead a group of over 50 pilgrims into Tantric retreat, and he graciously agreed to film with me at various sacred sites before and after their retreat. In this video, Glenn and I travel to Parping, where we explore sacred sites, temples, and meditation caves. We meet a student of Glenn's who performs a fire puja after a multi-year cycle of Tantric retreat. Enter the meditation cave of Padmasambhava. View of Tantric retreat. Enters a fire puja after a multi-year cycle of Tantric retreat. Enter the meditation cave of Padmasambhava. View a self-arising Tara image and encounter guard dogs at the Vajrayogini temple. Glenn also converses with monks, explains the meaning of prayer flags, and traces the esoteric history of the region. So without further ado, Lama Glenn Mullen.
Parping, one of the great sacred meditation places in Nepal for all of those connected to Tibet, Tibetan Buddhism, Lama Buddhism. Basically, Parping is on the old road going from Kathmandu down to India. So many of the great tantric masters came up here, meditated here during the over the centuries, and from here, Tibetans connected with many of them and carried lineages back to Tibet. The name Parping is often said to be a derivative of Pamting, the Pamting brothers being two very powerful mystical masters who received chakra samvara directly from Naropa, as well as a special lineage of Vajrayogini and many other great tantric practices. In terms of importance, they equal Marpa in terms of their importance as students of Naropa. But of course, they were Nepali, so Tibetans speak of Marpa more often. But nonetheless, the Pamting, the mantras of those three healing Buddhas. Then take a shot of Maratika. Maratika. Then he done the Trubchen Sarsong.
Sarsong.
Telling a Nekor Sonam Tet Sa.
And so that the all because the focus on lane machine.
Oh, really?
They all like number
$184 donated $2 through Super Chat. I swear bro, it's right there, look behind, fearful face.
Okie dokie. We're going to answer some questions. So if you leave your questions or comments under my videos, I will read them, most or all of them, and then sometimes... Okie dokie. Okie dokie. We're going to answer some questions. So if you leave your questions or comments under my videos, I will read them, most or all of them, and then sometimes I answer them. My answers may or may not be satisfying to you, but they are just coming from my momentary impression of how the question or comment is hitting. And I do appreciate the engagement with the videos. It helps. And yeah, I appreciate your sincerity and genuine willingness to wake up and keep waking up. If you post comments under my videos, I always assume that's what you're interested in, waking up or continuing to wake up, which sometimes includes shadow work, often includes shadow work. So I always answer from that standpoint. I make that assumption, and that's my context. So just FYI. Let's see. First question's from Brandon. It says, would you be willing to make a video addressing the extremely powerful vasanas that come into contact, that we come into contact with after no sun?
Shadow work must be something that he sells, some brand of shadow work. Somebody mentioned that that he's selling to people. and shadow work is a very vague term. And so, I guess it's a brand that he has or something like that.
Also, I believe I heard you say once that the violent shaking and twitching are resistance patterns being let go of. Do you find that to be accurate? Generally speaking, yeah. It really depends what you mean by shaking and twitching. Like if you just have a very general kind of offloading of energy, a shaking and twitching, I think it's a kind of natural thing for our bodies to do. We move around as human beings in very stilted, stereotyped, kind of contracted ways. We have to, right? That's what society looks like, and I think what that does is sort of stores up a kind of, let's just call it nervous energy, for lack of a better word. And I think sometimes just shaking it out, or maybe even dance, ecstatic dance, or intuitive movement, these kinds of things can help to regulate that energy or dissipate that energy a little bit. Eckhart Tolle tells the story of watching ducks, where two ducks will get into I don't know what you call it with ducks, but it's like a kerfuffle, a little duck fight, and then it doesn't last long, and they get mad at each other. And then when they swim away, there's a moment where they shake. They kind of shake it all out, and then they just swim on their way and let go, kind of letting go.
And this is just how delusional and insane this guy is. The ducks shake. That's how they get off the water, the excess water from their bodies. So Angelo doesn't understand that for some reason. But that's pretty well known. If you've ever observed ducks directly, you can see that ducks shake. They shake off the excess water because their feathers have a kind of oil that, so that the water doesn't saturate them, and they shake out to get that water off. It doesn't have anything to do with ducks fighting. So this is another one of this guy's blind spots, and he has a lot of these blind spots. That's why I've been making these videos to call him out and inform his followers that he's not enlightened.
That energy of tension, maybe it's a letting go of tension. So I think we do that actually, and I think TRE is largely that. Trauma releasing exercise is largely an ability to just keep letting the body keep taking that off in layers, which can uncover traumas and settle some deeper resistance patterns and stuff. So there's that kind of version. What I think you're talking about is what I've said is some people get like really intense spontaneous kriyas, sometimes even early in the realization process. And I find that those are often related to certain resistance patterns that may not be obvious right away, and later on it becomes more obvious. This is my conclusion from working with people on these things in a very nuanced way over years now. There's no, I can't say anything's 100%, right? There's no like manual for this, but this is just what I've seen, and my experience tells me that's usually pretty accurate. Yeah, and it's okay. It is what it is. Some people have much more intense kundalini kriyas and spontaneous kriyas and things like that, energetic movements through the body. Some less so. I think some people manifest it more physically, and some people just sort of feel it really intensely and don't necessarily physically manifest it. But I've heard it coming through so powerfully. At least in one case, someone got knocked out by it, interestingly, while they were meditating. I've heard of other pretty intense examples as well, including things that are very tick-like. They look very tick-like. Who's to say? Maybe there's a lot of crossover there. Maybe spontaneous kriyas and, say, ticks associated with, various things that we would call a disorder, like a neurologic disorder. Maybe they're very similar. It's all energetic to me. Movement is one form of energy, of course. One form of that energy takes is the movement, like kinetic energy and so forth. And the nervous system is all about energy. So that's just my general take on it. I think the biggest thing for me is like not to make too big of a deal of it, and to just feel in as deeply as you can to whatever's there, really, seeing what's happening. Also, sometimes I've heard people, very recently someone told me that their kriyas, their facial twitches and things, are actually a response to thoughts, like a reaction to thoughts. And it's a bit of a resistance pattern in regard to certain thoughts that are uncomfortable, and that the body will actually react to it to kind of distract itself almost, is how he.
So this is one of Angelo Delulu's biggest faults, and that's this understanding of karma. So Angelo is presenting this view that karma or cause and effect can be understood intellectually or matter-of-factly, and this karma, these causal links and causal chains, are unfathomable. Only a Buddha, only a fully enlightened being can understand these subtleties of cause and effect. And that's why so many of these words, kundalini, asanas, etc., are just marketing. And the way that he uses these words so frivolously and freely, when most people would have a definition of kundalini that doesn't have anything to do with any tradition or informed practice system, and yet he's using it as if that word is inherently a standardized word like wood, like a form of wood. And that's just not the case. And like I've said, and I'll keep saying it, one of the specific videos he made on his channel was saying, the title was something like, if you've gone through this, that means you have a deep level and degree of enlightenment. And then he just described people going through psychosis or people going through episodes. And just because you go through deep depression, anxiety, or even something like mental episodes, schizophrenia, and you are interested in spirituality or enlightenment, it means in no way that you're at an advanced level. And that's such a dangerous thing to publish and to share and to represent for. And Angelo is doing that kind of stuff all the time. It's a real shame.
Described it. Yeah, so who knows? In Tourette syndrome, tics often are described as occurring more when there's a lot of social pressure or in social situations, and it feels like a releasing of a kind of pressure that's building, things like that. So I think a lot of that is actually rather interrelated. So anyway, that's just a kind of broad take on it. Yeah, and then the extremely powerful vasanas that come into play after no self-realization. Essentially what this person's referring to is that once the deeper perceptual filters, and by perceptual filters I just mean those things that make reality, both what it feels like your internal reality and external reality, the world you see around you, feel divided up, feel sectioned off, divided up, and like you're a small, discrete little thing in a world of other discrete things, and everything has its own existence, and it's, that.
These are just vague ego descriptions appealing to superficial spirituality. There's nothing specific about what he's saying. He's basically giving buzzwords and giving ideas for people to graft themselves onto an imagined experience. And that's not what the practice of meditation is. I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you this seriously as somebody who's been to many Vipassana retreats of varying traditions throughout the world, in Burma, in Korea, in Thailand. This kind of way of presenting yourself is not what an advanced teacher does. And when people come up that aren't just, TikTok spiritualists and these very empty-headed people that pursue spirituality as a kind of mentalism or materialism and don't have real knowledge base on these traditions or these principles and practices, people who are real practitioners show up to these retreats, they talk with the master, and they ask about this very deep, profound, meaningful, powerful experience that they've had in meditation. The master says, yeah, detach from that. And here you see Angelo Delulu doing the opposite. Firstly, he's trying to get you to want that experience. Then he's trying to get you to be convinced that you've had that experience. And then he's talking about, and hey, that's what we should all attach to. Wanting that experience and then having that experience, seeking that experience. That's my take. That's my think. That's my feel. So as somebody who spent 8 years as a Buddhist monk, somebody who has a lot more spiritual training than Angelo Delulu, somebody that has spent a lot more time with realized masters and looking into the subtleties and the specifics of this system than this guy Angelo Delulu. And just because he's more famous than our channel here, the Monk Life Meditation Institute, it does not mean that he's more right. And if the only way that you can determine or position yourself that Angelo is right is by saying that I'm wrong, then that's incorrect. That's superficial. It's just playing ego games. I'm not here to play any ego games. I'm here to call out this guy's principles and practices and this problematic approach that he's taking to teaching spirituality.
That whole feeling, that whole thing, that fractionated experience of reality, that can actually start to dissolve. And that's what I mean by perceptual filters dissolving. And it's pretty irreversible, really. I mean, you can have tastes of a kind of merging types of experiences, unity experiences, boundaries dissolving. Certain substances can do it, psychedelic substances, intense breath practices can do it. It can happen in other ways as well. Those are experiential and tend to kind of come and go. But a real shift at the level of identity and the level of identity in regard to its experience of reality will actually be irreversible typically. So what that results in is that a side effect of that is there's a compartmentalization that happens internally where we compartmentalize parts of ourself in a very strange and convenient way to not feel certain things.
Those people that think that this Angelo Delulu guy is a real non-duality teacher or a real Zen teacher or a real enlightened master in any sense of the word are wrong.
Certain times to kind of bury things, to hide things from ourselves and others, to avoid in some strange way things we don't want to feel, like shame. So these perceptual filters work internally as well. When they dissolve and continue to dissolve, you will find yourself in this place at some point where there's nowhere to hide from any of that. You can't hide something from yourself. There's no, in a sense, I could say there's no separate self to hide it from, but that's not really the whole picture. The whole picture is more like there's just no sectioning off of experience anymore. And so everything will come to the surface. So you will have to work through your traumas. And this person's using the term vasanas. But we could call them complexes. We could call them vasanas. We could call it karmic residue, or we could call it trauma.
And so when I say that Angelo Delulu is not an enlightened teacher, what that means is that he's full of karmic residues. He's full of contrivances. He's full of false principles and practices. He's developed a this is a super ego guy. He's developed a spiritual super ego, and now he's spewing his shit to everybody that comes across it. And there are a lot of problems in what this guy's doing. The first, most basic problem is I haven't seen any conversation that he's ever had with anybody that's seriously on the spiritual path. That isn't some fake non-duality. See, that's the most interesting thing. You want non-duality, Advaita Vedanta, something like that. Go and listen to Jim Newman. See if Jim Newman would have any space for a freak like this guy. Jim Newman's slapping it up to, what's that guy's name? Nobody's gonna like me if I look like this. Sam Peterson. Sam Field. Hello, anybody out there? Fill in my head with thoughts like Angelo does for a superficial spiritual seekers. His name's Sam something. He's very famous. He's like political and Buddhist and Dzogchen guy. He's a social commentator. Very famous guy. Look, people are going to turn off the video now because I reached this block and because my community that's watching this live, no, not Sam Kinison, weren't able to fill in this piece in this block for my mind. Sam Harris. Yeah. Jim Newman's slopping it up and slapping up Sam Harris across the face. What do you think Jim Newman's going to do to Angelo DeLulu? So anybody who thinks that this Angelo DeLulu guy is a non-duality guy is totally wrong. Anybody thinks that he's a Zen guy is totally wrong. And anybody that thinks he's a Hindu guy is totally wrong. What Hindu masters has he practiced with? What Zen masters has he practiced with? Let me see a conversation with Jim Newman. You go and compare and contrast Jim Newman with Angelo DeLulu, and you come and tell me what you find out.
No, depends how you define trauma, perhaps. But you will have to work with that and work through it. So
I'm starting a campaign. Yeah, and that's the way that Angelo's face is going to be. I am starting a campaign to have, that's probably what's happening. Somebody left a comment on one of the recent videos, and they said, Angelo's actually monetizing his stuff because he wants to spend more time doing this. He wants to spend less time as an anesthesiologist, because the funny thing is that Angelo's an actual doctor and Dr. Rob isn't an actual doctor. Well, the funny thing is that I would like my team, and I would like everyone online, to reach out to the Medical Board of Colorado. And I want us to reach out to that medical board, and I want to find out why an anesthesiologist is practicing psychiatry and therapy unlicensed online and monetizing it. Okay? If Angelo DeLulu's medical license hasn't already been revoked, which is very possible that it has, I would like my team to start looking into, and the internet community to start looking into, getting this guy's medical license revoked in the state of Colorado. Because this is illegal what he's doing. He's breaking the law here, talking about trauma responses and things like that, medical values. This guy needs to be disbarred.
How to work with it, how to deal with it. The number one thing I've seen in practical terms is deep shadow process or circling, which I've been talking about. We're trying to do more of that. It's an intensive process.
And so this deep shadow work, as somebody asked me to make a video about this actually, this deep shadow work and intermutual processing, I know all about this stuff. It's when you bring your ego and your traumas and your fears and your baggage to a bunch of random people that this guy says are the best of the best, and then you dump that trauma, you dump that ego, and basically give it to people who haven't dealt with their own trauma and haven't developed the capacity to detach from their own bullshit, and then they get to use your bullshit against you to reify their position of authority, and then kind of disassociate you into thinking that you're better off. I know all about that fucking shit. It's Western psychology mixed with spirituality, and it's total fucking sicko shit. Total fucking sicko shit. And it's the last kind of process that you want to be involved with, this Angelo DeLulu shadow work process. And that's why he needs to get disbarred, and he needs to lose his medical license.
It requires a reasonably small group of people and facilitators who know what they're doing, and a container. But the other thing is, I do have a video series. I'm not sure if you're not a channel member, but for channel members, if anyone's listening and interested, I have a course on the final fetters, and
I think he might have lost his medical license. Angelo DeLulu, the anesthesiologist, also known as Mr. Nitrous Non-Duality, also known as the best friend of the Grateful Dead, okay, may have lost his medical license to practice in his state because he was doing unlicensed psychiatry and therapy sessions that he was profiting off of. And so now this is his grift. Now he's got to sell memberships and sell these retreats and get more people to be convinced that they're enlightened so he can create this network of fake spirituality and advice. Now we're getting into the deep end, aren't we, Angelo?
course on the Heart Sutra. Both of those address this deep.
And now he's conflating, and in the next breath, he conflates his bullshit, unlicensed psychiatric courses on his YouTube channel with the Heart Sutra, with the Mahaprajnaparamita Sutra, one of the highest wisdom sutras in all of Buddhism. So here's your choice. You can either go and read the Heart Sutra, go and attend a real meditation course, a real meditation retreat with Sayadaw Ashinotamatara, or you can pay money to this guy and watch his YouTube videos. Which one are you going to choose? Because they're just as good as the Heart Sutra. This guy's a Heart Sutra teacher now.
Subtle but very powerful, energetic stuff that occurs when those perceptual filters have fallen. And I'm sure I have others around on my channel, and I'm sure I'll make more. So anyway, that's everything I got to say about that. This one is from Soda Pressed, but it's spelled like soda drink and then pressed. Is there an effective way for someone, me, with a very loud and active thought life to do the koan mu at work? For instance, I drive for a living. Thanks, Angelo.
This is going to be great because Angelo doesn't know anything about koan work. He's never practiced koan work. He doesn't even know what a huatou is. He hasn't cultivated great doubt, doesn't know what that is. So this is going to be a fantastically superficial answer to this very sincere question. So let's listen to this.
You know, I usually don't tell people to do things while they're driving, like practices and meditations and stuff. I can't tell you not to, but I certainly can't endorse it. Right? A concentrated meditative practice. However, when you're working, so yeah, primarily when you're working with mu, it's going to be while you're sitting at first. Definitely. You could do it while you're doing something focused but not driving, perhaps, like yard work, or I don't know, something where it doesn't require thought necessarily, or doesn't seem to require thought, but it's a focused process. But the key with mu is to really just absorb yourself so fully in it that there is only mu. So at some point, there will only be mu. Mu walking, mu driving.
He asked him specifically about koan work, and for Angelo, the delusional kingpin of pseudo-spirituality and fake Zen, mu just means focusing on the sound that a cow makes. He doesn't know anything about koan work. Just like he thinks that stream entry is turning the mind inward. He thinks that koan work can be epitomized by thinking about the word no and focusing on the word no. Mu means no. There's a koan about somebody asked the great Zen master, does a dog have Buddha nature? And in that kind of tradition, you know, everything's supposed to have Buddha nature. And Master Joshu, he says mu or no. And I can't tell you what Master Joshu would say to Angelo Delulu, because masters would never talk to this guy, because his ego's turned his head inside out and it's out of his asshole.
Mu going to sleep, mu waking up, mu noticing thoughts. Mu. It's all mu. It's just mu. Even the thoughts are mu in a sense, you could say. But I can't give you a conceptual explanation of it because it's 100% experiential. That's the whole point of the one-pointed approach. So the thing about thoughts, when you say if somebody has a lot of thoughts like...
The one-pointed approach is to have a specific meditation method and to follow that one-pointedly. Angelo Delulu was just asked about koan practice, and then he didn't answer it and said, I won't tell you to practice anything while you're driving, because he can't explain koan practice because he doesn't understand it. Okay? And what Angelo is actually talking about is more in line with a huatou practice, which would be just a particular question. Like, What is my original nature? Or where was I before my parents were born? Or what is this? Angelo has just picked up some random things from low-level Zen teachers or Zen communities that he's practiced in that don't verify him, that don't see him as a teacher, and now he's pretending to be a master, and he's absolutely not. He does not understand koans. Koans have to be practiced with a teacher so that you can answer it. This is absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Me, can they do this? Just understand, I don't care how many thoughts you have, but I do care about the one thought you believe that says, and
so let's go back, because I feel like I might be misconstruing this. Did he ask him about koan practice, or did he just say something kind of adjacent to that? And so Angelo, that's why Angelo is not giving any answers on what koan practice is or how to practice it. Okay, so let's go back. Let's rewind a second here.
Just moo. Even the thoughts are moo in a sense. Moo. It's going to be while you're sitting, but I certainly can't endorse it. And then pressed. Is there like soda drink and then pressed? Is there an effective way for someone, me, with a very loud and active thought life to do the koan moo at work? For instance, I drive for a living. Thanks, Angelo. I usually don't tell people to do things while they're driving. For decades and I haven't woken up yet. I haven't had any shifts. Something hasn't happened. I'm not satisfied. That is all Buddha. I haven't had any shifts. Something hasn't happened. I'm not satisfied. That is all Buddha nature. I haven't had any shifts. Something hasn't happened. I'm not satisfied. And I haven't whatever. When you tell yourself I've been meditating for decades and I haven't woken up yet. I haven't had any shifts. Something hasn't happened. I'm not satisfied. That is all Buddha nature. All of that is Buddha nature. That's the beauty of this. So is it ordinary? Yeah. And it's possible for Buddha nature to become aware of itself in that way, in a certain way, also. And that's also extraordinary. And it's also totally ordinary. Because when a shift happens, when an awakening happens, an authentic awakening, invariably, certainly right after, invariably the person's recognition is, this is just totally natural. It's not anything special. Like I thought it was going to be special. It's not special. And I'll say, yeah. And does it feel lighter? And they'll be like, oh yeah. The weight of trying to find the specialness, the weight of trying to create this idea I have of awakening that's not here, because I wanted to not see what was here. The weight of that was so heavy and now it's gone, right? But this isn't special. And they will always know that it's always been right here. They will always know it every time. I've talked to...
Absolutely not, because he's talking about false awakenings, right? So he's talking about false awakenings where there's still an identity of self that identifies with or sees a separation, sees an object of this thing that is awakening. The ordinariness of it is in the absence of separation in it for someone to observe or to see, or for someone to exist at all. So this is just his cult of I'm enlightened or enlightened egos, and it's totally fake and false. And, I don't work. I'm retired. And so sitting here and listening to Angelo Delulu and trying to give some response and give some information for people, it's really exhausting. It's like work for me. Or like a public service, but it's very exhausting to take somebody like this in and listen to them because they're just overflowing with arrogance, with wrong view, with convincing other people to be in that way and to live and exist in that way. And it's such a shame. It's such a really, really shameful thing. What this Angelo Delulu guy is doing.
Many people, like right after I've watched people wake up many times. I've talked to people immediately after awakening many times. It's just so clear. They know it's always been this. And this is really important. It's not just some words they learned. Because
if they know, they're not awakened. If someone knows, then they're not awakened. If someone is enlightened, then that someone is not enlightened. What did the Buddha attain? What do they say, right? What did the Buddha attain? The Buddha attained non-attainment. The Buddha attained nothing. Angelo Delulu has also attained nothing, but not in that kind of way.
Anyone can hear that and just say it, right? And I've heard people sort of say the awakening words, but I don't really think they had an awakening. Most of the people on here, that's not the case. People are here are very, very sincere, but I've seen it, right? Because the mind can learn anything. So I've seen people say those kinds of words like, oh yeah, it's always this, it's just this, there's nothing else but this, and blah, blah, blah. But there's no freshness in it. It doesn't feel, it feels like a rote memorization almost. It feels like a statement rather than an experiential coming forth from wonder, from naturalness, from fluidity, from spontaneity. When I'm around somebody who's awoken that way, it's like they don't have to talk. Like I can see it in their eyes. I can see it in how they move. I can feel it in the cadence of their voice. It's alive. It's a very alive truth.
It's just ego. This guy is just so pumped full of ego that, we'll see how egoic he is when he loses medical license for practicing illegal psychiatry in online. All right, everybody. So that's our Angelo Delulu takedown video for today. We'll be making another one coming up very soon. I'm Dr. Rob. I was a Buddhist monk for 8 years. I do these videos to inform people about spiritual con artists, fake spiritual teachers, online grifters, and in this case, somebody who may have already lost their medical license or will soon lose their medical license for practicing illegal psychiatry online. Please do share this video with Angelo Delulu. Please do reach out to me directly, Angelo Delulu. This message is for you. And I hope that we will destabilize the cult of personality and the cult of fake enlightenment that this guy has built. And I really hope, honestly, that he doesn't lose his medical license, because if he spends more time doing this kind of work and his ego continues to expand and he continues to platform false low-level teachers, and it's just going to be a bad thing for more and more spiritual seekers on the path. So thank you for watching. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and reach out to ask your questions in the comments down below. See you again next time.
Roberto.
Please turn on your camera.
Why?
So that people can see how stupid you look.
I can't. I'm live streaming and my camera's already being in use.
You're live streamed to how many viewers?
Oh, very important individuals here.
All right, so are you ready to play spiritual PUBG?
Oh yeah, baby. And we created a very interesting dynamic here that I think that
What's going on, Shiva? Are you ready or not?
I'm ready, baby. Let's get it poppin'.
You need to focus.
I'm focused, baby. I'm very focused. You have no idea how focused I just was.
All right, let's get to. You haven't gotten any wins or anything like that. You wouldn't even play PUBG without me with you, because you would know how embarrassing
Well, PUBG is a very
you would know how
PUBG is a very
embarrassing.
easy game.
PUBG is one of the most competitive and difficult games in the entire world. It has the most largest prize pools for tournaments. Has the one of the largest operating basis of players. You have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so when you're ready.
Okay, I'm loading PUBGs right now.
Okay.
Yeah, check the tapes, Roberto, if you want to see my wins. And we're going to have some dynamics here very soon, hopefully.
What
I don't even know
wins?
why I can hear
You haven't had a single win on your channel. There's nothing that you've ever done that's a win.
This guy's crazy, man. Oh my god, I'm releasing my information. I'm releasing our chat to the oh my god. I just released our entire chat to the live stream. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, man. We're gonna have to scrub this. We're gonna have to scrub this entirely. Okay, I'm on PUBGs.
Okay, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, buddy.
I just have to clear out my RAM. Make sure I have
Yeah.
enough RAM for the situation.
You have to increase your situation.
How much RAM do you have?
Let me check.
OBS is using way too much RAM.
How do I even check how much RAM I have? Available physical memory, 16 gigs. Total physical memory, 31.
That's crazy.
31. Let me ask ChatGPT. Why is that good or bad?
Just is what it is.
Yeah, you're
man.
gonna. Yeah. That's how you know it's good. If it was bad, you would be really on my case. But if it's good, then it's just like non-duality, bro. So good. I'm so clever. Okay, we're gonna turn on I'm gonna turn on my camera and we're gonna do Discord. We're gonna see your beautiful face as well.
Hold on, I need to change my settings. Yeah, turn on your Discord. Turn on your Discord. Turn on your camera.
Listen, don't tell me to turn on what I didn't need to turn on.
You can use your OBS virtual camera, man.
Oh. I should have thought of that, but whatever.
Your camera's not working. Fix it.
It's becoming fixed very soon. I just need to handle some dynamics here. Webcam.
How to get OBS to use less RAM. Browser source hardware acceleration.
Come on. There we go. Roberto, how I love you. If only you knew the dynamic that I had in store for you. You gotta be less angry and less infatuated with situations. Because,
We have text to speech open right now.
really? I wanna do something with that.
What do you want to do with that?
Like, put it in my butt, at least.
Check my stream. I want you to check my stream and tell me if it's doing good.
Oh, it's doing really good, man. All right, let me check. Oh, a 10 out of 10 stream.
No. Check it. Is it
Getting
working?
ready.
Is it working now?
Yeah, you're like moving around the video of ours. And check. 10 out of 10 stream.
No. Check it. Is it
Getting
working?
ready.
Is it working now?
Yeah, you're like moving around. Donations. So I can tell you're really ready, man.
I'm ready. I'm waiting for you right now.
Oh, really? You didn't invite me to any game.
I haven't invited you yet.
No, you're not even online.
Hold on. I'm opening it up right now.
And you are a cinema.
Look at my stream, man. Tell me what you think when you look at my stream.
Check it out. You didn't invite me to any game.
Haven't
Nice, man. This is what I see.
Where are my viewers? How many viewers do I have?
7.
Are you serious?
You need to start a gaming channel.
If I'm live streaming, I don't care what the quality is. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like. You follow, you listen, you wait for teachings, you wait. You are privileged to be here. Everybody who's watching my stream, you're lucky that I'm live. You're lucky you have a chance to be here. You're lucky you have an opportunity to be here. Don't you ever say, oh, this quality is not the way that I thought it should be, and then you leave. One day you won't be able to leave. I'll lock you in a box. I'll lock you in a prison. You understand that? Then you won't be leaving anywhere, will you? When you're tied up in a prison at our meditation center with nowhere to go and nobody to help you. You're lucky I'm live streaming. So why does it say I have 21 watching now? How does that work?
You are just crazy. I think that's really the best way of saying it.
Check again. There's 21 people here.
Listen, my job isn't to check your live streams. That's for sure not my job. Your job is
Jose Romeo says, you can tell Shiva he has an identity crisis going on. You could tell he was probably always singled out a lot. He's basically a dumbass that's constantly talking to himself. Everybody here is lucky that I'm here. Okay? That you have a chance to watch this live stream. You should be paying me to be here. And eventually that's the way it's going to be, just like Joe Dispenza. You think Joe Dispenza is doing live streams for people like you? No. You got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to be in his live stream. And it's going to be the same for me very soon. So you should be grateful that you have a chance to be here right now. How's that post on the cults Reddit? We need to post on the Sadhguru Reddit and inform people about you.
Why?
Because of your grift that is very focused on Sadhguru. 34 upvotes. Man, this is going to go to the front page of the internet.
That's good. Can't wait for that.
Shiva posted there, said you can check out this guy's channel. That's one thing we could do. Shiva, can you make a post about me on the R Buddhism subreddit, telling them that you used to be my friend and follower, and then I started freaking out on you, and send them, promote my channel that way?
Okay. We can create that kind of energy.
You can say, like, does anybody know Bhante Varapanyo? Or does anyone know monk life meditation? And you can say, like, you were my friend and you thought I was a Buddhist monk for 8 years, and then you realized you can't, but be questioned, like, was he actually a monk? What's going on? Is this guy enlightened? You can be creative about it, Shiva. And then I'll do you a favor like that at one point. But you'll get a lot of attention through doing something like that.
We can make something happen like that.
All right, so let's play PUBG.
All right, we're at 42 subscribers. Can you believe that? That's freaking epic, man.
I can.
43 subscribers! Oh my God, somebody just subscribed. Thank you so much, honestly. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Whoever just subscribed, man, you're literally an amazing human being.
What really happened to Connor Murphy? Have you been keeping up with the Connor Murphy stuff, Shiva? This is a podcast. We changed this to a podcast where we're going to play PUBG. And I'm going to even increase the channel dynamics.
Can you increase the channel dynamics with the same thing? Yeah. All right, we have a goal that we've set up for the Streamlabs, and I think that when Dion comes home, he's gonna make it happen for us.
Yeah, Dion's very reliable friend of the show.
Oh my goodness. Are you even joining?
Yes. I'm in the process of joining. I need to put on my headphones.
Chanath, you're here, man.